Am I the asshole for telling my wife she's fucking wrong and that my mom is right? I, 35M, have been married to my wife, 32F, for 5 years, and we've been struggling financially for the past few months. I lost my job about 3 months ago, and while I've found part-time work, it doesn't pay nearly as much as before. We've had to cut back on a lot of things, but it feels like no matter what we do, we're still living paycheck to paycheck and even pulling from savings. Recently, my mom, 65F, came over to visit and noticed how stressed I was about our financial situation. She offered some advice on how we could save money, things like cutting down on takeout, meal prepping to avoid buying groceries multiple times a week, and switching to cheaper brands. My mom has always been frugal, especially when she was raising me and my siblings on a tight budget. I thought her advice made sense, especially since we're really trying to save wherever we can. I asked if she was willing to go through our spending and show us where we could cut down. My wife agreed to this. My mom made a detailed spreadsheet of our spending, and it became clear we're spending way too much on non-essential things. We don't need Starbucks every day, for example. It also became apparent that most of the discretionary spending was coming from my wife's habits. To be honest, my wife didn't take the breakdown well and started arguing with my mom, claiming the spreadsheet was wrong. She said my mom's way of managing finances was outdated and doesn't work for us. She doesn't want to give up buying organic produce and enjoys having variety in what we eat each week. I tried to explain that we need to make some sacrifices if we want to get out of this financial hole, but she kept insisting that things weren't as bad as I was making them out to be and that we just needed to ride it out. At this point, my mom left, but my wife and I continued arguing. She insisted she couldn't give up her takeout and kept saying my mom was wrong. That's when I lost my patience and said, "You're fucking wrong. My mom is right. She managed to raise 3 kids on one income, and we can't even cut back on groceries for a few months." My wife got really upset, saying I was being a huge jerk for siding with my mom and calling her outdated. She's barely spoken to me since, and now I'm wondering if I went too far. But from my perspective, we need to be realistic about our situation, and my mom's advice could actually help us get back on track.